and heritage. Okay, right now it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage Ms. Irene NG, Member of Parliament for Tampines GRC, to give a short speech. As you very well know, our national pledge was penned by the late Senior Minister, Mr. S.Rajaratnam, and Ms. Irene NG has written a book entitled The Singapore Lion, celebrating the Singapore Lion, the late Senior Minister, Mr. S. Rajaratnam. It is an awe-inspiring book, and she will be giving a short speech on the late Senior Minister, Mr. S. Rajaratnam. Ms. Irene NG, please.
Minister Tharman Shanmugaratnam, Mrs. Shanmugaratnam, Deputy Speaker Indranee Raja, Dr. Arthur Van Rijn, PBM, President of the SCTA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, may I congratulate you, the Singapore Ceylon Tamils Association, on its centenary. Thank you for the privilege of speaking about S. Rajaratnam on this special occasion. By including this segment in tonight's celebration, you honor the memory of S. Rajaratnam and his legacy. His contributions to the country are well known. Hence, tonight, I would like to focus on his contributions to the Ceylon Tamil community, which is perhaps less well known. I know that there are some Ceylon Tamils who may feel that Rajaratnam did not do much for the community. After all, he did not style himself as a leader of the Ceylon Tamils. He did not go around to nurture the support of Ceylon Tamils for votes. He could not even speak Tamil fluently. But a careful analysis of his life's work shows that in actual fact, his contributions to the Ceylon Tamil community are great and profound and should not be underestimated. One important lesson that he had learned from the bitter conflict in Sri Lanka and elsewhere was that racial, linguistic, cultural, and religious conflicts and violence are the consequences of, as he put it, crooked politics and cowardly leadership. Whenever such conflicts are sparked off and spiral into violence, it is often the minority groups which suffer. Whenever communal politics hold sway, it is the minority groups that suffer. And when the minefield of race, religion, and language in a multiracial society becomes the battleground for a country to shape its identity and ethos, everyone suffers. Right from the beginning, Rajaratnam fought hard to establish a meritocratic system based on equality for all, regardless of race, language, or religion. The largest beneficiary of such a system is the minority group, who would otherwise lose in the numbers game. He fought fearlessly against the pro-communist Barisan Socialist, which appealed to Chinese chauvinist sentiments in Chinese-dominated Singapore. Later, during merger, he also attacked ferociously the UMNO Ultras, who demanded Malay political supremacy as a birthright. The battles were vicious and consuming. But he did not want a Chinese-dominated Singapore or a Malay-dominated Singapore. He wanted a Singaporean Singapore, in which no man or woman is held down because of her race, religion, or language. His battles changed the course of Singapore's history. His unwavering struggle for this vision paved the way for everyone, especially those from minority groups, to take their place as equal citizens and to flourish on this island based on their own hard work and talent. By being such a national leader, he provided an inspiring role model for all, and if I may say so, especially for the Ceylon Tamils. He was a man of vision, of deep conviction, and moral courage. He embodied the Singapore spirit, that never say die spirit. He showed that size, either of the community or of the country, need not impede us from making significant contributions to the country at the regional stage or the world stage. He also showed that one's skin color is not a factor in one's progress in this multiracial society. As he put it, you can make the tomorrow you want, provided you have the wisdom, the guts, and the will to struggle for it. As Singapore's first foreign minister, he showed us how to build bridges and make friends in the world. In his personal life, he showed loyalty to friends and graciousness to foes. He bore no bitterness towards his political adversaries. Instead, he forgave them. He also gave generously. In his oral history, the late S.M. Vasagar, who used to head the Sri Sen Pagar Vinayagar Temple and the Ceylon Sports Club, revealed that Rajaratnam had helped Vasagar in many ways, and that Vasagar had asked for many favors on behalf of the temple and the club. According to Vasagar, once without any hesitation, Rajaratnam gave him $50,000 from his own pocket towards the temple's building fund. Not many people know about this because Rajaratnam was a humble man who rarely talked about himself. To provide deeper insights into the man, his life, and his legacy, I've written the first volume of the biography of S. Rajaratnam called The Singapore Lion, published by ISIS. I'm happy to inform you that just this month, the book was recently awarded the Excellence Award for Best Book and Best Writer at the prestigious Asian Publishing Awards 2010. I would like to record my grateful thanks, particularly to Dr. Devendran, for his strong and generous support and donations towards the project. Minister Mentor Lee Kuan Yew has kindly signed some copies of the book to be sold for $10,000 each. The funds raised will go to the ISIS Research Fund, which will be used for further research into Rajaratnam's ideas and contributions, especially in the regional and international arenas. Some copies of these special editions, I believe, are available and are on display here tonight. I hope some of you will buy them as a rare keepsake and also to support Rajaratnam's legacy. Since Singaporeans love bargains, I'm happy to announce that regular copies of the Singapore Lion are available for sale at a special discount tonight. Please buy 2 copies, one for yourself and one for your friend. I'm currently working on the second volume, which will cover how he comes to write the Singapore National Pledge, one of his most enduring legacies. Rajaratnam's memory will survive the ravages of time only with conscious effort to keep it alive. His vision of a Singaporean Singapore will endure only as long as people own it as their vision and continue to struggle for it. On this happy occasion, it is right that we celebrate his life and all that he stood and fought for. In that spirit, may I wish all of you an enjoyable evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Irene Ng, for that very, very enlightening speech on the Singapore Lion, the late Mr. Rajaratnam, Senior Minister. And now, you spoke about enduring the vision of Mr. Rajaratnam, and I think we are going to do that by taking the pledge together. And let's have the company of our guest of honor, Mr. Shanmugaratnam, on stage, Ms. Indranee Raja, Dr. Devendran, and last but not least, Mr. Yulay Narasingan. Here. So I'll hand over the microphone to Ms. Irene Ng, who wrote about the man. You will be leading us in the pledge, won't you? It comes across as a pleasant surprise. I think you are the most apt person here, since you wrote about the great Singapore Lion. Together, yes.
We, the citizens of Singapore, pledge ourselves as one united people, regardless of race, language, or religion, to build a democratic society based on justice and equality, so as to bring happiness, so as to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Irene Ng. Thank you. And now we will proceed to the cake cutting ceremony. So I would like to request the company of our guest of honor and our special guests on stage. And the cake, please. And this is a beautiful, sumptuous cake to mark the 100-year celebration of the Singapore Ceylon Tamils Association. The knife is being carried to the stage. As I told you, I have a surprise for you tonight. My co-host, the funniest man on Singapore, Mr. Buddy Varangan. A big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to SCTA. Happy birthday to you. A big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Make a wish, make a wish for SCTA and Singapore.
Oh, there's one more, Okay.
And what was the wish? And the wish was?
Another 100 years of contribution to Singapore.
Thank you, excellent. Another 100 years and beyond for SCTA. A big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful historic moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And now, to request the company of Dr. Devendran and the guests on stage. And now, Dr. Devendran, the president of SCTA, will be presenting a copy of the magazine, the SCTA 100-year magazine. Thank you very much, Ms. Irene Ng, Mr. Dinakaran. This wonderful magazine. A big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam. We would like to hear a few words from you, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Devendran, President of the SCTA, distinguished guests from Singapore and Malaysia, friends, Ceylon Tamil Sangatin Talavar, Dr. Devendran Avarale, Aditala Matram, Samuha Talavarale, Taimarale, Perurale, Danbarale, Ungal Ellarukam Vanakkam. The Ceylon Tamils are a minority within a minority, but as I mentioned, they have contributed beyond their weight in modern-day Singapore. In the judiciary and legal profession, in academic medicine and clinical practice, in engineering, they have contributed well beyond their numbers would have suggested. In the civil service, they were starting from colonial times, but also through the independence years, prominent on both sides of the causeway, holding senior positions, the most prominent, of course, being Mr. J.Y.Pillay, who's here with us today, on this side of the causeway. And in education, in schools up and down the peninsula, as well as in Singapore, both the mission schools as well as government schools, you found Ceylon Tamils all over the place, as principals, teachers. From the earlier part of this, for the last century, till today, the Ceylon Tamils have been leaders in education. And in sporting life, they have also excelled. Dr. Vijayaratnam, who's here, is of course the prime example, represented the state in 4 sports: cricket, hockey, football, and rugby. It runs in the blood somehow. So, in all areas of civil life, the Ceylon Tamils have contributed and been proud to have been immigrants and subsequently citizens in a multiracial milieu. We sometimes ask ourselves why the Ceylon Tamils have been able to have a significant impact in Singapore? I think the answer was provided in something which Ms. Irene Ng mentioned earlier. The Ceylon Tamils were able to make the most of the advantages of a multiracial environment, taking advantage of the opportunities that would normally be preserved for majority in most Asian societies at the time, taking full advantage of the opportunities that talent and hard work can bring. And they also interacted freely with other races from the very start. In fact, from well before independence, the Ceylon Tamils were known for the ease with which they interacted with other communities. The Ceylon Sports Club is a very good example of the way this happened. From its foundation years, it had Sinhalese, Tamils, Burghers, as well as other races and expats from all over participating in its activities. Friends, fellow sportsmen on the field and off. In fact, the Ceylon Sports Club only knew of one form of discrimination that I know of. It made it quite uncomfortable for people who are not interested in cricket or couldn't feign an interest in cricket. So that was the name of the game. Easy interaction, regardless of race or religion, and immersing ourselves in a multiracial milieu. So when Singapore became independent and multiracialism became a defining feature of this island, the Ceylon Tamils took easily to the advantages that that brought to a minority. And we take pride in the fact that we have been part and parcel of a country that was, especially at that time, doing something very unusual, which was to accord minorities the full rights that citizenship brings in every area of life. I think it's no accident that Mr. S.Rajaratnam, a member from a person from a very small minority in Singapore, drafted the pledge that we just read out. That instinct has always been with the Ceylon Tamils and must always be the way in which we conduct ourselves as we go forward. It is difficult to say if future generations will see themselves as a distinct community of Ceylon Tamils. 30, 40, 50 years from now, it's difficult to say if they will continue to be a distinct community, even in their own minds. Some are marrying others from within the broader Indian community, or even other races. Their children grow up with a mix of cultural influences. And Singapore itself is becoming more multicultural and more multiracial by sheer force of diversity. But I think we hope, and we hope fervently, that future generations will remember their roots in Ceylon and will remember how their forefathers came to this part of the world, made a living for themselves, contributed, and added something special to a multiracial environment. That is what we must hope for, that regardless of where the children are, how they think of themselves, they will remember their roots and take pride in the fact that they originally came from Ceylon and they are part of a cultural tradition that is something that they can be proud of. So once again, congratulations to the SCTA, its successive leaders, and the current generation who've been keeping it as active as ever, in fact more active than ever. And I echo what Dr. Devendran mentioned earlier, which is to call on younger members to come forward and to serve and to be part of what is really a very noble mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam. Thank you very much for being with us here tonight. And we will now proceed to hand over special awards. And I would also like to request the company of Dr. R. Devendran PBM, President of SCTA. We are giving away 7 awards and 10 sponsor plaques tonight. And the first award recipient is someone very dear to you. Yes, Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam's dad, Emeritus Professor Mr. K. Shanmugaratnam.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment for the conferment of the Star Excellence Award. First on our list is Emeritus Professor K. Shanmugaratnam. The entire citation is in a booklet which will be distributed now. I would just like to say, at the age of 89 years, he is still a sprightly octogenarian and is still at work at the National University of Singapore. In 1976, he was awarded the Public Administration Medal Gold for his research, training, and devotion to his work. He was the man behind the setting up of the Singapore Cancer Society. Let us really give him a hearty round of applause. Come on, everyone.
A big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen, for Emeritus Professor K. Shanmugaratnam. And up next, Dr. J.Y.Pillay.
All right. Dr. J.Y.Pillay, we had to really convince him to receive the award. And everyone knows who is he. I don't want to talk about his SIA achievements. He's best known as Mr. SIA. But not much is known that he was the first president of SINDA in 1990, and he set the correct parity in the educational attainment of Singapore Indians with the national average. Let us give this SIA man and a person who has contributed to the community a really round of applause. Thank you very much. The awards are given out on the following basis. 1, for professional contributions to the country. That is not enough. The second criteria is they must be serving the community. And third criteria is they are the role models to the community. In particular, we want the youth to emulate. These are the 3 criteria. If you just serve one of it, it would not be recognized for this award. The next on the list is Dr. Arumugam Vijayaratnam. Dr. Arumugam Vijayaratnam has 2 feathers in his cap. He has represented Singapore in hockey, cricket, football, and rugby. In addition to his distinguished career as a respected engineer, he was the first Pro-Vice-Chancellor to the Nanyang Technological University from 1992 to 2005. He serves as a trustee to the Ceylon Sports Club as well as to the Singapore Ceylon Tamils Association. Let us give him a round of applause. Next on our list is a favorite friend of mine, Mr. C Churchill, who stood by me in a crisis. He has done a lot of, in his profession, he did a lot of assignments, very difficult assignments, entrusted to him by the government. He's a member of the Ceylon Sports Club and SCTA. And during his time, he was involved in managing the financial aspects of the club. He introduced systems and policies to rectify the discrepancies in the monies. He has for many years now, every year for the last 30 to 40 years, contributed in an annual contributions to the temple. Not enough of recognition. Come on, we Ceylonis can do better. The next is Dr. N. Gunaratnam. Dr. N. Gunaratnam, popularly known as Dr. Guna, is a senior consultant ENT surgeon. Dr. Guna received the prestigious WHO fellowship in ENT to pursue advanced training in the USA in 1973. Everyone knows him as a doyen of the early ENT surgeons of Singapore. Dr. Guna is a founding member of the ASEAN Otorhinolaryngological Head and Neck Federation. He is also the advisor in the Ceylon Sports Club, and he has been really giving good advices and resolving a lot of issues in his time. Thank you, Dr. Guna, for being a friend of, and for being what you are. Can we give him a round of applause? Too quiet. The next on the list is Dr. S. T Carson. Carson is an orthopedic surgeon. He has a passion for performing arts. He has given more than 20 years to the Singapore Fine Arts Society and to the development of fine arts among Indian youth in Singapore. He is a very religious person who gives much of his time to the management of and development of the Sri Shanmugaratnam Temple. Under his chairmanship, the temple now provides a host of spiritual and cultural activities. He is also the advisor to the Ceylon Sports Club. Next on our list is Dr. Romm Eason. Can we have him up? Dr. Romm Eason, many of us would have got his hands during our birth. He still remains a household name, particularly among the Ceylonese community. His medical practice is imbued with a strong sense of spiritualism. I understand he prays before he does the birth. Dr. Eason is a founder and a member of the Singapore Family Planning Association, which is now called Singapore Planned Parenthood. He has served in various community roles and plays an active part in being once a trustee of the Singapore's Shanmugaratnam Temple. Those are all the 7 recipients who will serve as our role models, particularly for our youth. That brings us to the end of the conferment of the awards. Can we give all the awardees a really good round of applause?
A rousing applause, please. And thank you very much, Dr. R. Devendran, PBM. And now to thank our sponsors, without whose generous support tonight's event would not have been possible. And first up, from Mel's Impacts, we have Mr. G. Ravichandran. And our guest of honor, Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam, will be giving away a plaque in appreciation of our generous sponsors. A big hand for each and every recipient, please, ladies and gentlemen. Mel's Impacts, Mr. G. Ravichandran.
மற்றும் சித்தகிரி டீ மிக தரமான காஃபி கொட்டையுடன் சரியான சிக்கரி சேர்த்து தயாரிக்கப்படும் சித்தி காஃபி மற்றும் தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட தேயிலையிலிருந்து தயாரிக்கப்படும் பெஸ்ட் குவாலிட்டி சித்தகிரி டீ. இனி அனுபவித்து மகிழ்ந்திடுங்கள். சிங்கப்பூரின் அனைத்து கடைகளிலும் கிடைக்கும்.
And up next, we have Mr. and Mrs. Anton Ravindran. And we have the company of Mr. Anton Ravindran on stage, please. followed by Stamford Press Private Limited, represented by Mr. Romm Eason. And the next sponsor, MDIS, and we have the company of Ms. Jamuna. Ms. Jamuna from MDIS. From Design Terminal, Mr. Daniel Lowe. A big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen, for each recipient. We owe them a big thank you and even more. And up next, Mr. Paul Subramanyam. Mr. Paul Subramanyam and Mr. Vinod Kumaraswamy, but on the stage we will be having the company of Mr. Paul Subramanyam. A big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen. And followed by Everbee Audio, represented by Mr. Sim Eng B. Mr. Sim Eng B from Everbee Audio. And now for Mr. Ashok Kumar from Halal Foods International.
Protect your inner health with Halal Foods Advanced Omega 3. It contains the right balance of EPA and DHA with its ultra-pure Omega 3 formula to give you an all-rounded wellness. Advanced Omega 3 from Halal Foods International.
Big hand, please, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, we have Mr. Nara from Nara Sons Private Limited, but he's not able to be with us tonight. So thank you very much, Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam. Thank you. Very gracious of you. Thank you. And now we move on to a very special award, a surprise award indeed. And before I unveil who we will be giving out the award to, I would like to invite two gentlemen on stage. Mr. Shiva Korinde, on stage, please. And Mr. Ramesh Wharram, who is one of the senior most members of the Singapore Ceylon Tamils Association. And let me unveil who this award is going to be given out to. This special award is given out by members of the Singapore Ceylon Tamils community. It's not given by the association, but members of the community. And it's be given out to the president of SCTA, Dr. R. Devendran PBM. May we request your presence on the stage, please. Mr. Ramesh Wharram will be there by the stage. And Dr. Devendran, may we have your company on stage, please? This is a surprise item for Dr. Devendran. He has absolutely no clue that we will be giving out a surprise award to you. Yes, Dr. Devendran, you are also the proud recipient of a surprise award tonight. And guess who's going to be reading out the citation? I heard that at one point of time, he was one of your fiercest critics, but today you have converted him. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shiva Korinde.
Dr. R. Devendran, a corporate warrior and a man of substance amongst the Ceylon Tamil community, has in his tenure served with great commitment and passion towards the community's enrichment. In 12 years of yeoman service, he has made tremendous contribution to the temple, building it to a world-class standard and to the peaceful growth of the Ceylon Tamils Association. He has himself been enlightened in his journey with the community and has brought great awareness and pride to the Ceylon Tamils of Singapore through his unconditional contributions, spending time, giving good counsel, and being benevolent. His leadership, groundbreaking performances, and drive to deliver serving at the helm of many organizations, including the MDIS, Ceylon Sports Club, and many more, has shown outstanding result to make us proud that he is one of our countrymen. In recognition of his contributions to the Ceylon Tamil community, we, the friends and well-wishers amongst us, would like to give an appreciation on this platform where we celebrate a great milestone in our community's history here in Singapore.
And that was a citation on Dr. R. Devendran delivered by Mr. Shiva Korinthan, a retired teacher as well as a senior member of SCTA. A big round of applause for Dr. Devendran, please. We would like to request the company of Dr. Devendran by the stage to receive the award from Mr. Ramesh Wharram. He's one of the most senior members of SCTA. A big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you can do better than that. A bigger round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this really surprising award. I was nearly disappeared from the scene. I didn't expect it. Well, I'll continue to serve. And to the very fringe few, I'm sorry if I did something wrong. Thank you, everybody, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, and best of luck to you as well. Congratulations once again. And now we have another award, also a surprise award. And before I unveil the recipient, let me invite on stage the representative from Malaysia's Ceylon Tamil Congress. The representative from Malaysian Ceylon Tamil Congress. And I would like to invite on stage, surprise, surprise, Mr. Ilayathambi Narasingan. We would like to request your company on stage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand, please, to Mr. Ilayathambi Narasingan, who's the second vice president of SCTA.